We're laying power cables and constructing new control centers. That's right, it's Lander from Intrepid Games. This spacefaring strategy simulator pits 2 to 4 players as corporate leaders, striving to contribute their company's assets to the colonization of Chimus 2. By using resources, personnel, special training, and items, players complete missions in an effort to collect the most mission stars to win the game. Lander features 3 styles of play: basic simulation, early arrival, and planned arrival. Any of these modes can also be played with team play. Today, we're going over the basic concepts and setup for an early arrival game. Details on the other modes of play can be found in the rulebook. Setup for early arrival begins with each player choosing a corporation, taking the matching crew roster, order options card, and player pieces. Both the card and the roster should be early arrival side up. Place 1 piece on the in space of the year-end box and 5 pieces on the observation track. Select a first player by placing the timer in the middle of the play area. Then each player flicks one of their pieces at the timer, and the owner of the piece closest to the target becomes the colony governor, taking the marker, and will go first in year 1. Next, place the hex center. Shuffle the 54 sector tiles and randomly draw 18 of them, distributing them around the hex. If any sectors have a 0 rating on them, there may only be a maximum of 3 of these, so make sure there's no more in the setup. Separately shuffle all of the card decks except for the resources, the events, and the stasis deck. Place all decks nearby along with the timer and the remaining sector tiles in their tray. Remove the 14 stasis cards and 25 event cards with the black symbol from the game, then shuffle their respective decks. Separate the accolades based on type and randomly reveal 1 per type. Starting with the colony governor and proceeding clockwise around the table, each player places 1 player piece, known as a structure, on any unclaimed sector around the hex. This placement must be on the lowest value displayed, and no 2 players may occupy 1 sector. After everyone has placed 1 structure, the process is repeated, this time in reverse turn order. Again, each placement must be on an unclaimed sector. Repeat the process a 3rd time in the original turn order. When complete, all players should have 3 sectors, each at level 1. Placing subsequent structures on the same tile in-game will increase the level of that sector. Deal 2 stasis cards to each player face down. Each player may privately look at their cards. Flip the top card of the stasis deck face up. In turn order, each player selects 1 crew member as their leader, reading their leadership ability on the bottom of the card and placing it in the leftmost slot of their crew board. The other crew member goes in roster slot 2. Finally, deal 2 gold mission cards to each player as their private missions for the game. Then, create the mission roster by revealing and placing 3 missions from the silver deck. Then, flip the top card of the silver deck. This mission isn't available yet, it's just a preview of what's to come. Gameplay occurs in years, divided into 5 phases: setup, resolve events, perform orders, prepare for year-end, and end of year. First up in the setup phase. In turn order, the players each draw 1 sector tile and connect it to any other sector. Next, they place 1 structure on an unoccupied sector adjacent to one of their own. After placement, deal resource cards to each player based on their items, leadership abilities, and sector values. Then each player takes the start of year allocation cards face down. 2 action cards, 1 item card, and 1 training card. Next, in the resolve events phase, the colony governor draws an event card and reads out a scenario. Where indicated, they choose an option on behalf of the whole colony and place 1 of their pieces beside the option they chose. Next, in the perform orders phase, players take turns issuing an official order. Additionally, they may perform any number of free orders or anytime orders. Once a player performs their official order, play passes to the next player. If a player cannot or chooses not to perform an official action, they proceed to the prepare for year-end step. Let's take a look at the orders. First up, Free orders are just that, free. A player may perform any number of them at the start of their turn. These include attaching a training card to a crew member with an available slot, attach, move, or discard an item to any crew member, or exchange 2 resource cards of the same type for 1 other resource card. Anytime orders allow you to play an action card with a play anytime icon like this. These can be played on anyone's turn at any time. Additionally, once a player has completed the requirements of an accolade, they take that card as an anytime order and earn those mission stars. However, if another player exceeds their value on that card, they may steal it and the stars as an anytime order as well. Now, the official orders include upgrade. Pay an energy and a titanium to place a piece on a previously claimed sector, increasing its level and income. Expand. Pay a food and a titanium to draw a sector tile and place it anywhere. Then build a structure on the closest unoccupied adjacent sector. Acquire. Pay 1 energy and 1 food to draw the top stasis card and add the crew member to an empty crew slot. Alternatively, the player may spend 1 energy and 1 food plus 1 of any additional resource to draw the next 3 cards in the stasis deck and choose to keep 1. Leadership. Use a leadership ability on your leader card. Purchase. Draw 1 card from 1 of 3 activity decks: action, item, or training. Action cards cost 2 energy, item cards cost 1 titanium, and training cards cost 1 food. Cards drawn this way are added to a player's personal hand. Play an action card. Provided the crew criteria is met, activate an action card from your personal hand, discarding it after resolution of its effects. Some action cards are persistent, meaning they stay in play until the end of the year. Complete a mission by paying the resources and fulfilling the required criteria. The player who completes the mission gains the mission card and the stars listed. Remember, these are the main objective points of the game. Once completed, any mission is replenished from its respective deck. Consolidate activities allows a player to discard 3 activity cards from their hand. They may then draw any 3 activity cards, choosing 1 to keep and discarding the remainders. Observe allows a player to do nothing by removing a player piece from their observation track, which is great for staying in the round without having to prepare for year end. Negotiate allows a player to trade any resources or activity cards with another player. There's a few cardinal rules to negotiation. Once per turn, a player may make a trade request or offer for 1 type of activity card or resource. The minimum amount to negotiate is 2, and the maximum is 5. If anyone is willing, the active player may choose 1 with whom they want to negotiate. Each player places 1 activity card or resource card face down in front of their play area. This is collateral. If the negotiation fails, the ownership of these cards will swap. The cards that have been requested or offered are placed face down between the 2 players. Flip the timer. They have 1 minute to complete the trade, where the receiving partner inspects the card and can then pass cards back and forth in secret, offering a trade. If the players agree before the timer runs out, the deal is successful. If not, the inspected cards are passed back and the collateral cards are swapped. After all players have taken their turns fulfilling official orders, eventually play will begin to pass. When this happens, they personally enter the preparing for end of year phase. Once here, they may no longer perform free or official orders. They may still participate in negotiations and play anytime orders. Once all players have entered the prepare for end of year phase, they must discard down to 5 resources and 5 activity cards. This concludes the year. In the end of year phase, all players remove any persistent cards, temporary cards, and reset their leadership abilities. Play proceeds to the setup of the next year. In early arrival, the final year is triggered once a player earns 10 mission stars. At the end of the current year, whichever player has the most mission stars wins the game. And that's Lander. I'm Becca Scott, and I think we all know my crew card would say strategic and fanatical. You can watch me and my friends play this game and other awesome games on Game the Game right here on Geek and Sundry. We'll see you there.